YouTube, it's me, Birdie, and I am finally here with my review for The Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan. Now, if you have not read it yet, you can still watch this video because this video will be completely spoiler-free. I'm just gonna give my feelings, maybe just a little overview that won't go in depth and won't give any spoilers or anything, and then some thoughts that I think are helpful if you have not decided whether or not you want to read this book, which, I mean, you should. Even if I thought it wasn't that good, Rick Riordan is awesome and you should just read it. But anyway, so if you didn't know already, The Hidden Oracle is the first book in this new series titled The Trials of Apollo. And even though this is the first book in a new series, you kind of have to read all of Rick Riordan's previous mythological based books beforehand, or else you're going to be kind of confused. Now, I'm not saying you have to read necessarily all of the Egyptian stuff with this, but definitely Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Heroes of Olympus, and even maybe Magnus Chase. I think those would be very helpful. Now, the reason why I say all of them, including the Egyptian ones, is I have a feeling that all of these series are going to come together at some point in the near future. Not near future, but in the future. Now, I mean, that's just a prediction, but I think it would be in your best interest to read all of the mythology-based books that Rick Riordan has written before you read this. And I would do it in the order that they were published. That is the easiest way, I think, for it to be done. But definitely read those books. Now, this book is basically about Apollo being turned into a mortal. And this happens after the war with the giants. Hence why you have to kind of read the other books beforehand. And it takes place 6 months after that, and it's kind of happening parallel to Magnus Chase. So again, that's why you should read that series as well. But yeah, so it's focused on Apollo's mortalness. And I won't go into depth, but basically he's trying to figure out a way to turn back into a god. Because, I mean, if you're a god, you turn back to mortal. I think anybody would want to turn back into a god. But yeah, so that's his main goal. So this is all in Apollo's perspective. It's not a third-person perspective like the Heroes of Olympus were. This is literally Apollo telling us what's going on. And I find that concept really interesting because in order to do this, Rick Riordan had to kind of think like a god, and that's really just interesting, and I think he pulls it off well, especially getting the personality that we've had before with Apollo, that even though we haven't seen him that much, I feel like this kind of personifies what we had seen before. That makes sense? So his character kind of follows what we have seen before, so it's not any new character being made. We do get to revisit old characters in old settings, but I won't go into that because that might be spoilery. But I found that was really, really great because, I mean, like I said in my trailer reviews for this book, I was really excited to see the Greek perspective again, and we did get to see that. I mean, not as completely as we did with Percy Jackson, because now this Roman world is known, but it was more Greek focused, and I really like that. The one thing that might be seen as a negative, I think, for this book series, or this book in general, is the fact that there's no real introduction to characters or plot development. It kind of just goes right in. And I mean, it works for Rick Riordan because he has these previous books that are all kind of connected, but it still would have been nice to have had a Percy Jackson and the Olympians kind of intro where we get to meet the characters. I mean, we did have something like that with Apollo, but it wasn't as fully formed, I don't think. It might be that we need more books to kind of learn more stuff, but as for the first book on its own, it just dives right in. And I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. If this was someone completely different, I would be angry, but because it's Rick Riordan and he's had these previous books that kind of explain everything for this new series, it's okay. I'm fine with it, but just keep that in mind if you're going to pick it up. And I do feel like there's something we're missing in this, and it might just be because we're jumping right in, but I think it's just that we have to have the other books to see where it's going. And like I said, it's not necessarily a bad thing that he jumped right in and I don't know. I just felt like we were missing something. I have total faith that it's going to be cleared up in the next couple of books, which I'm going to predict it's probably going to be a 5-book series. And if not, it's going to be a 3-book series. I'm leaning more towards 5, but I may be wrong. I don't know. I don't even know if Rick Riordan has talked about his plans for this series. I mean, I'm not good at researching that kind of stuff, but I have a feeling it's going to be a 5-book series. And if I'm wrong, I'm not stating this as fact, so don't hold it against me. So yeah, overall thoughts. I thought this was a really great book. It was great to get back into Greek mythology, with some Roman, but mostly Greek. And it was great to see Apollo and some of the other new characters, as well as some old characters, like I said before. So of course, my overall rating was an A+ rating or 5 stars for Goodreads. And yeah, I'm just really glad to be back in this Greek world. And I love it. I love it so far. So if you have read the book, I will be putting up a spoiler review in a couple of days or so. I'll probably be filming it today, but I'm not going to put it up at the same time. But yeah, if you want to see that, I'll have that link down below once I put it up. And I hope you have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed, or I hope you will read The Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan, and I hope you enjoy it like I did. So I'll see you next time, which probably won't be that far away because, again, I'm going to be doing the spoiler review. So I'll see you next time. Bye!